My name's Joanne Wyatt and I'm a Jurat of the Royal Court of Guernsey. Well, most people have heard of Jurats, but they're not entirely sure what we do. So the easiest way of explaining it is that we don't have a jury system in Guernsey. The Jurats undertake that role. So we will sit on any civil or criminal case alongside a judge. The judge deals with all matters of law and we deal with the finding of facts. There are 16 Jurats that actually are appointed. And we're allocated a quarter, and in that quarter you will sit on conveyancing every Tuesday and Thursday and any civil and criminal case that you're allocated. And for the rest of the year, the senior Jurat, who is actually Jurat Stephen Jones, will roster you to sit on a criminal case because there needs to be 9 Jurats on any criminal case. Alongside that, we also have other duties, which are things like liquor licences, guardianships, commissioner hearings, and a lot of people will see us on parades such as Liberation Day and Remembrance Sunday. I think the skills that you would need to be a Jurat would be a very interest in serving your community. And for example, that prior to this, I'd sat on the CYCT, which is the Child Youth Community Tribunal, and I'd done other sort of charitable things in my career to date. But the main thing is having a passion for serving your community. The time commitment for being a Jurat is quite substantial. It's 85 days a year. That sounds fairly frightening, but what you have to bear in mind is, say for example it's my quarter and I'm sitting on conveyancing court on a Tuesday and Thursday. That actually only lasts an hour, but that would count as 2 days. So whilst it sounds a lot, things like conveyancing court don't take a particular amount of time, and being on parade for Liberation Day or Remembrance Sunday would count as a day as well. So it sounds a lot, but actually it's not as bad as it seems. I had always heard about the Jurat's role, and what appealed to me was serving the community. I'd done something similar, I felt. I understood some of the challenges that Guernsey people face, and I felt that I could offer something slightly different, and that's why I was delighted to be elected as a Jurat. I think one of the positives is being entrusted by the Guernsey community to represent them, if you like, and to deliver difficult verdicts at times, and really represent them in such a serious, committed role. The downsides, there aren't very many, to be honest with you, other than the fact that obviously we have to deal with some very disturbing cases, and you have to be able to park those at the end of the day. That's not necessarily an easy thing, and I think that because we care, which is such an important aspect of the role, that is quite difficult. But again, with the support that we have, you learn to deal with that. I think the 85 days, as I said, sounds quite a lot, but I think if you have a supportive employer who understands the role is serving the community, that's really helpful. For example, I have a very understanding employer, but I also have a very supportive husband, and my children are at an age now where they don't need so much supervision. So I manage it fairly well, actually, and it's not as difficult as it might sound. I absolutely would recommend the role of Jurat. It is a fascinating role, it is challenging, it's very, very rewarding, and I believe that most members of the community could do it. I think that you have to have some skills, you have to have put some work within the community prior to applying, because that is a very good grounding for you. But I think that there's lots of men and women that it would suit.